Hi, welcome to the director's cut of the hiking videos that I made this summer. I will be talking through some of the behind the scenes and other things that I didn't get to include in the video. Let's go. This is day 11 and I am still in New Mexico, probably about halfway through New Mexico at this point. And I'm reaching the stage of boredom, I would say, at this point on the hike. It is day 11 of through hiking the Condon Valley Trail and Rate Trail combined. Oh, right there, I'm sitting in cow poop. Like there's just it's like I'm sitting leaning against a cow fenced in area, and there was a water spigot there that somebody else had found. So I was just gotten water there, and I was filtering my water and letting it hang on one of the posts, and I was sitting there on my sit pad in the middle of all this cow poop, recording my video because that was also the only place with shade. So my wet shoes froze overnight. I wore my thin sandals, which offer the barest of protection. So I really wanted to include that sound of the shoe being frozen because if you remember correctly, in day 10, I was in the Gila and it was all wet and my shoes were repeatedly doused in water as I crossed the river like a million times. So, and the way that river is, it really is like you cross it and then 30 feet later you cross it again and again and again. You're just in the middle of the canyon there, which is part of what makes it so magical, but it also is really a pain if you want to keep your feet dry. There's just no way to keep your feet dry. And yeah, my feet were wet even at the end of the day, and it was super cold that night. So my shoes actually froze. I didn't think it was going to be that cold, so I actually had what did I do? I don't think I thought to take it into my sleeping bag and try to keep it warm overnight. So I just left them out, then they froze. And my filter also froze, or I think my filter froze because, I had left it out. I didn't think it was going to be that cold overnight. So yeah, you can see everything's frozen here. So I wanted to let my shoes thaw out. Because I didn't want to wear frozen shoes at this point. Later on, I think I probably would have just worn the frozen shoes and just let my feet warm them up, but or even like breathed on them or like hugged them to my chest to try to warm them up and thaw them out. But yeah, I thought I'll just wear these since it's sand and let the shoes be tied to my pack and let the sun warm them up. But that's why I lost my shoe later on this video. While I let the shoes thaw out, I had to tread lightly like I was tiptoeing across the landscape. I could feel all the textures of the land. It's like driving stick instead of automatic. You feel more connected to the car. I did actually like hiking in the sandals because I really could feel every single texture in the landscape and I felt very connected to the land. But yeah, I eventually lost my shoes. So then a guy walking up behind me brought me one of my hokas and I ran back 0.7 miles to find the other one. So this was so frustrating because I ran into, so one guy, when I was at a water source later on in the day, he came up to me and was like, I think I found your shoe, but I didn't find the other one. So I figured that other shoe that he didn't find, probably I'd lost it before I even saw him. He had been sitting there smoking weed, I think, like maybe a half mile back. So I thought, okay, then the other shoe I probably lost even before I saw him. This is getting very confusing, but essentially it was like, okay, if he only found one of my shoes, I lost the other shoe before I ran into him. And then I stopped at this water, and then he caught up to me and was like, I found your shoe. So I was like, I got to go back at least a half mile, and then wherever I lost the shoe before that. And after I had passed the point where I had passed that other guy earlier, I saw a different guy, and he was coming, going in the same direction that I was, going north. And he said, I asked him if he had seen a shoe, and he was like, no, I didn't see one. Honestly, you probably already lost it. Like, you're not gonna find it. Which is very frustrating because I was like, no, I really need that pair of shoes. I can't just walk the remaining 80 miles into town with only one pair of shoes. This sandal is not going to hold up. And actually, I'm pretty sure that I could see the shoe from where that guy stopped to talk to me. And yeah, it was just frustrating. I was running to get back to try to find my shoe, and he was like, don't run, like, save your energy. I don't know, just another example of people, particularly men, trying to tell somebody else what to do or what not to do on this trail. But yeah, I found that shoe shortly after leaving that guy. They had unclipped from my pack. Sandals are nice, but not for the remaining 88 miles into town. While I was running, a man I passed told me I should save my energy and there's no hurry. But I actually was in a hurry. That's the guy that I mentioned earlier. That's the guy who said, that he didn't think I was going to find my shoe.
I was in a race with the post office. So far, I keep running out of daylight, and my brain gets bored before my body gets tired.
Oh, and this is the water spigot that I was at when I filmed that opening intro clip. It was this water spigot at this cow trough or whatever this is.
Today was a day for boredom. I walked on a Jeep road for 23 miles. The boredom was an interesting feeling because what exactly is uncomfortable about it? It's a good salve for the overstimulated modern mind. This evening, I had to siphon power yet again from some hikers Noodle and Blue, which got me through 5 more miles of night hiking.
So at this point, I was still only using the single power bank, and that was not enough for me to hike with, and also make videos and edit videos. So yeah, when I saw Noodle and Blue, I also knew that I needed to save power for my headlamp. So yeah, I was as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh my gosh, can I just sit here with you guys while I eat my dinner and charge for 30 minutes and then keep going. But yeah, that was luckily that there were still a lot of hikers around at this point.
I had a tiny bit of service, so I texted some trail angels about my predicament. Thankfully, a trail angel will grab my packages, so I'm no longer...
So here in this clip, I actually lost the trail at night. I couldn't find where the trail was. It wasn't very clear in this section, and you can see me like looking around for where the trail is. And then at some point I slipped. I think I was not on the trail. It was very steep, and then I slipped. You'll see it at the very end of this video.
Beholden to the post office hours and can relax a little. See you tomorrow.
That's it. That's me slipping. So yeah, but at least I did find enough service to talk to a trail angel and have them help me get my packages and bring it to the toaster house in Pytown where the hikers all go. So that was good because I wasn't going to make it to the post office in time. That's it for day 11.